Let's do our location highlight. I think you need to talk about Tbilisi or whatever the hell it's called. I'll have you pronounce it.
Yeah, Tbilisi, and I could still even be pronouncing it wrong. I know I was there for like a month and a half, but that could still be wrong. But it is the capital of Georgia, not the state in the U.S., but the country. And it's
Oh, okay. Because
right.
all that I know about Georgia is like, Atlanta. You got strip clubs, rappers, a lot of rap music.
The
Peaches. I know
Bulldogs.
Justin Bieber gets his peaches from there. Oh yeah, the Bulldogs. Who could forget the
Yep.
Dogs?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Southern
my only knowledge
hospitality.
of. Yeah, biscuits and gravy, grits, maybe.
Yeah. I don't think I've actually been to outside of the Atlanta airport. I don't know if I've been to Georgia.
I went there like driving through it as a kid. We were going to Florida or something, but yeah, I haven't really experienced it either.
Oh, maybe I have driven through it for like spring break or something. Yeah.
You crossed
Okay.
that Florida Georgia line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then went down to the Floribama line.
Oh, those are some good lines. Let me tell you.
But this Georgia is actually sort of like northeast of Turkey. It's along the coast. It's on the eastern coast of the Black Sea, and it's kind of surrounded by the Caucasus Mountains, and you got the Black Sea
Oh,
beaches. It's technically considered to be in Europe, but I don't really understand how that's possible because it's in Asia, but they consider themselves in Europe, and I mean, I respect that. Whatever you want to do is fine. They're just lines we made up anyway. Um,
sure.
but Georgia, it's a really cool place. They have incredible wine. They have incredible food. And it's really funny because Georgia actually comes from a Greek word that essentially means farmer. So it's sort of like land of the farmers. And so that's why it's so fertile. Actually, Georgia is the first place that they discovered, or the oldest winemakers in the world. So they discovered winemaking over 8,000 years ago. So and so they know how to have a good time, Steve.
Damn. Yeah, they don't get a lot of recognition for the wine thing. I feel like a lot of other countries are known as these wine destinations, Italy, France, but like I
Yeah.
feel like I need to have some Georgian wine.
Yeah, now Steve, this is great for you, okay? I always think about you with this. So they have these things called Georgian supras, okay? Where it's sort of like
Mm.
a gigantic feast, and there's like a leader of the feast, okay? It's called a kantsi. I'm sure I'm pronouncing this wrong, but it's
Yeah.
okay. And this guy, it's usually a guy, and he has like a big like ram horn, okay? It's like a big hollow ram horn, and it's filled with wine, filled to the
Oh,
brim,
fuck yeah.
okay? So this guy's
Yes.
got this guy's got to like get up in front of like everyone at the feast, and he has some incredible speech, gets everyone riled up, and then he has to finish the all of the wine in the horn, okay?
Oh, let's
And
go. The Georgian beer bong.
yes, and it is perfect. It is a perfect engineering design. It's because it's a horn, right? It's not a glass, so you can't set the horn down on the table because it doesn't like stand straight up, right? So you have to finish it. Otherwise, you're like holding on to it for the rest of the night because you can't set it down because it's gonna spill.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's like Edward Forty Hands also. And it's
Exactly.
wine. You can't fuck with wine. Like if it's red wine, you don't want to be staining stuff. So yeah, your only option is to just chug that bad boy.
Yeah, you literally, yeah, it's do or die. And if you're gonna make an epic speech and get everyone riled up, and you're not gonna finish the wine, I mean, it's not as impactful, right?
They'll replace you as feast master. They'll be like, all right, we
Yeah,
need a more alpha feast
yeah, you're
master.
done after that. Like, you've disrespected the group. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow,
so
that's
these things
great.
have like at least half a bottle, like a half to like a full bottle to maybe even more than a full bottle. So you got to also make sure you pick a wine that's like chuggable. Like, I don't want some
Okay.
heavy wine. Like, you better get something in there that you can handle.
Yeah, there's some strategy to this. Okay. All right. I like this.
So yeah, something maybe we can kind of experience together. We'll kind of get you up there and get you speak. And I think you could chug a bottle. That could happen.
Yeah, yeah. I did participate in winechug.com that one time.
Shout out.
Took me like 20 minutes though. So, but I'll do some training before we go to Georgia.
Yeah, yeah, and the training will be fun. It's not going to be like, training for a marathon or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just going to be us drinking wine. So yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
good.
so yeah, it'll be great. Yeah.
Cool.
Uh and so yeah, they got great wine, they got great food. They have these like little dumplings that are called like king kalis. I don't even know. And they're just like sort of like little soup dumplings. And
Mm.
these Georgian women are all always making them all day, and I would always go and like pick them up and bring them home because they were cheap,
Pick
and
up
that
the
means they didn't.
women,
No,
pick up the women and bring them home.
just the dumplings. I stick to the dumplings.
Dumplings. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Not that, George women, I'm sure they're great, but I was sticking to the food on that trip. Uh,
Got it.
Another interesting thing is their language is like literally not like any other language on earth. So you have no reference point to like be able to speak their language. It's not like Latin or like, based
Hmm.
on like any of the Eastern Asian languages. They're kind of in this weird part of the world where like their dialect of their language tree is like the only one that's left. So you have zero hope of learning this language. It looks absolutely crazy. I'll make sure to have a photo up of the language
Wow. Yeah.
when we edit this podcast. So
What does
it
it
really
sound like? If you had to like just give a little excerpt, what does it sound like?
like I just literally I don't even know how to I don't even like it's like like it's just it almost
Okay.
sounds Russian with some like blahs in there. Wow,
Okay.
I feel
All
so
right.
what an American thing to say.
We're just like every other language besides English. It sounds like Russian. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Like yeah, and I apologize truly like I love Georgia. I'm sorry. It's just the language is tough, but there is always the good thing about that is they realize that, right? So they all speak incredible English. They know,
Oh, okay.
they know that no one's learning that language, so they stick to English, and I think
I
that's
yes, yeah, I've come across that in other countries, like the small Nordic countries like Norway, everyone speaks English. Albania, you think anyone
yeah,
in the world's gonna fucking speak Albanian? I don't think so. So they all know
yeah,
English pretty well.
yeah. Like, come on, like it's so that's a benefit, right? And God bless us for being able to have English as our first language. It really helps, right? So.
Whew. Yeah, I'm thankful every day for that.
But okay, so Tbilisi itself, right? That's sort of like it's the capital, and it's one of those classic like post-Soviet cities where you have all these weird Soviet architecture, but then you also have a lot of really beautiful churches because it was actually one of the earliest adopters of Christianity in the world, second to only Armenia. So they have some beautiful old churches that are older than America. Um, and so it's a cool it's because Soviet Russia is traditionally not super religious, but Georgia has a deep history of religion, so it's sort of this cool dichotomy of churches versus weird cell towers that look like they should be in Star Wars.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting dynamic. I like it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And okay, and sort of the final thing I would love to discuss is that they're very anti-Putin, and a lot of people actually don't know this, but Russia invaded Georgia before they invaded Ukraine. So in 2008, they actually occupy two different large areas in Georgia.
Hmm.
And so the Georgian people are obviously like not happy about this, but Ukraine got all the publicity, in 2014 and then also in now for the invasion, but Georgia was kind of first, and they really couldn't do anything about it. And so currently to this day, there is two large areas kind of by the Black Sea and up to the north that are occupied by Russia. Now the Georgian people can go to and from but is, guarded by sort of like Russian military, uh, sort of that
Damn.
situation. Yeah.
Hashtag free Georgia.
Yeah, now here we go. Here's even something crazier, right? So I'm a co-work guy. So I go to this co-work in Tbilisi, and I'll get a photo up here, but to work at this co-work, I had to sign a petition. Okay, and this petition said, you know, I had to agree that Russia's aggression against Ukraine is a crime against humanity. I had to agree that Russia invaded Georgia in 2008. I had to agree that like Putin is a threat to world peace. So I had to like sign this piece of paper, or they weren't going to let me like work at this co-working place.
Wow. Okay. Like you think it's not like you're doing anything great. You're just going to a co-working space. It's not like you're trying to
Yeah.
like get a job in their government or something like that. You're just like going to an office and you have to be like say all these things. Interesting.
Yeah, like like look, I'm showing you my American passport. Like I'm part of the good old boys. Like I've seen
Yeah.
Air Bud, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You should just write that. I've seen Airbud. And they'll be like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah, we're
sense.
good. Like I love Step Brothers. Like I promise like I'm not like I don't like
Yeah,
Putin.
baseball. Yeah, I like baseball. I don't like Putin. Okay, there's a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. So they're really, I mean, they're for real about this. They're like, this is not cool with us. And the city is very, I almost think it's like Steve in middle school. It's very punk. They got like a lot of really cool graffiti, art, street art. Like everyone kind of dresses a little like they still love Metallica and stuff like that. It's very, it's kind of got that vibe, right? And so they also have all of these the street art basically like denouncing Putin everywhere in the city. They'll have like on the dumpster, it'll be like, it'll say like Putin's home, things like that.
On the dumpster.
Yeah, like
That's
on the
incredible.
dumpster. Yeah, so they it's a really unique vibe. I truly had a really good time in Georgia and
Okay.
Tbilisi in general. Yeah.
No, I want to go back to this emo vibe or this
Yeah.
punk rock kind of vibe
Yeah.
because I don't know if everyone knows this, but I actually have an emo background myself.
Right.
So
PhD.
I think I would be able to slide in there and fit in. Like I kind of know the style, I know that vibe. You know, I'll just give a quick background, right? So when I was in seventh grade or so, it started out with skateboarding. Okay, I was a soccer player, but I pretended to be a skateboarder. Like I thought that was cool. So I started to get into that style. My hair got a little bit longer, and
Uh-huh.
gradually my pants got tighter. Like I just started wearing girl pants or just skinny jeans. So my hair would get longer,
Did your hair
shoes
get
would get
straighter?
fatter. Yeah, so I had a hair straightener, and I would straighten my bangs, and I had these emo bangs going down the front of my face.
Okay, okay.
My sister would get pissed because I'm wearing her jeans, I'm using her hair straightener. People like to say that I wore eyeliner, but I never did. Okay, I never wore eyeliner. I didn't take it
All
that
right.
far, but
For the record,
yeah. But Van slip-ons, the checkered Vans, all that shit. I was rocking that shit. So, and then
classic
I was
sibling
full on,
rivalry.
yeah. Although I called myself scene, not emo, because I wasn't actually like sad or emotional. I was just seen. I just looked like it. I was a fucking poser at the end of the day.
But you could still ollie on a skateboard, right?
Oh yeah, I could kickflip and shit like that. Maybe ollie like a seven stair, something like that.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of stair. Wow. Okay. So that's legit.
So
That doesn't feel like you were a poser. You did it
yeah,
all.
I wasn't a poser. Like my board wasn't from Walmart. Yeah, I wasn't a full on poser, but deep down inside, like I knew I was a soccer playing pussy. I wasn't this like badass punk rock skateboarding guy. So by the time I got to high school and I started trying to hang out with the cool kids, but I noticed they wouldn't invite me to stuff because they're like, this guy wears girl pants and he can put his bangs in his mouth. I don't think we can like invite him to hang out with us this weekend. So I
Yeah.
started to kind of gradually go the other way. My pants started to loosen up, hair was getting shorter, and now you see the guy that you see today.
A little more, maybe some vineyard vines.
Yeah, then this like frat thing took over, and I that was its own douchey style. I've
Right.
calmed down on that, but obviously my hat is still backwards, so some things never die.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take a little bit from every part of your life, Steve. So it's a
It's
journey.
it's a it's a journey, right, dude? I mean, you had that phase. I don't know. What were your phase? Oh, the DJ phase. Obviously, that
Yeah,
was thick.
the long hair. Yeah, yeah, the
DJ
tennis
Jesus. Yeah,
phase.
because you had long hair. And the
Yeah,
best was, when you were DJing in the Jesus outfit, the Jesus robe, and everyone was like,
yeah.
oh, Jesus is DJing for us. That's awesome.
And it's just like you. It's like I'm sure you're thankful for wearing normal fitting pants, and I'm thankful that I don't have long hair because, props to the ladies, but it sucks showering with long hair. Let me tell you. You got to wait so long for that to dry.
Did you have a blow dry? Kind of like how I had the hair straightener. Did you use a blow dryer or no?
No, I would no, I would just have to plan like 2 hours ahead to make sure it's like, okay, I'm not doing anything. Like if I'm taking a
That's
shower.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
But Steve, Tbilisi might be for you. We might get you back into a pair of
Yeah,
skinny jeans and get you out there chugging some
I
wine under the
know.
horn.
I know. Yeah, I need to get the emo style going, chug the wine. You've kind of got me gassed up to get out there and check it out. 'Cause
It's
yeah,
really Yes, it
yeah,
was really cool. It was definitely the most underrated place I've ever been. Like maybe I just didn't do a ton of research beforehand, but I was like, wow, more people need to come here. This is truly it fits, right? It's like you want to go out of some far off place and see some interesting stuff and hear a language I can't even tell you one word of, like, but they have their own culture. They got their own thing going on, and I hope they get their country back because it's great.
yeah, and I hope they get some more recognition out there because you just don't hear people talking about Georgia very often, whether it's about wars that they're experiencing or culture, food, other things. So this is us promoting Georgia, just like we do with Airbnb and poop stories.
Yeah, so sometimes we're serious.
Yeah, yeah, that was serious. Cool. Well, should we wrap up? I know we had another topic today, but we're kind of running out of time, so we'll save that for next time. But yeah, we can wrap this biatch up and just get pumped for the next episode.
That's right. And well, it was a pleasure. And always remember to take a weird trip.
Take a weird trip. Bye, y'all.